Let's talk about more plugin shortcuts in Pro Tools. Okay, so I know I've mentioned some of these before in previous YouTube videos, as well as on things like Instagram Reels. I'm at CatoNoise on Instagram if we haven't connected there yet. Also on TikTok, I pretty much post the same stuff. Instagram has more stuff because I tend to posts there in addition to Reels, and TikTok's basically just where I post Reels and things like that. But no one cares. So anyway, if you want to connect on there, that's where I am. There's a link in my description somewhere. What I wanted to talk about today are some of the plugin shortcuts that I tend to use all the time, right? So I've talked about command and clicking before. That's how we can bypass a plugin. So you'll notice when it's bypassed, it's blue. When you click bypass on the plugin, it toggles between blue and not blue, but you don't even need to open the plugin, just command click. I use that one all the time. I also use option and click and drag a lot to duplicate plugins. So you'll notice I have the plugin with all the same settings there. I can drag it to a different track, stuff like that. I'm going to close out this one because I don't want to change it too much. You can also hold shift while clicking on a plugin, and that's going to open it up without this little red rectangle. It's a square without this little red square highlighted. So when this is deactivated, when it's not red, you can then open up other plugins on top of it. So you can click on the little red square, or you can just do shift and click and it opens it up that way. So I can just hold shift and click to my heart's content and it's going to open a million different plugins for me. I like doing that, especially when I'm comparing my settings on two different tracks. Sometimes, for example, I will cut the same frequency range on an EQ on one track and then boost it slightly on another to help things kind of find their space in the mix. So I use it a lot for that. I also use it a lot for looking at the series of plugins that I have on my master fader. Sometimes you want to see a bunch of them at once and make sure nothing's clipping, making sure your gain staging is good. So I use it for that a lot. You can also, when you're going to open a plugin on your list, if you hold command and then you open up the list and find the plugin, and I know I've showed this before, I don't remember where I showed it, but let me just click on it while I'm holding command here. And now when I go to open up my plugin list, it is at the top of my list. So if there's something that you use all the time that you want to have just at the top of your list, you can put it there that way. So I'm going to just take this off so I don't mess up this mix. But another thing that I really like to do is if you click to highlight a track, all you have to do is shift and then hold down shift and then press A, and that will bypass all the plugins on that track. So if you want to A/B test your entire plugin chain, you can really quickly do it that way. See if you like what you did to it, right? So shift A will bypass all of the plugins on whatever track you have highlighted. And actually, I wonder if I can do multiple at once. Yeah, I can. So I can highlight multiple tracks and do shift A to bypass all of the plugins on all of the tracks I have highlighted. I think I have used that one before. So that's there too. Similarly, to show this one, let me click off this and go back to this track. So we're looking at this track here. If you look here, I have inserts A through E and inserts F through J displaying. So we're going to be able to look at both insert banks here. I'm going to add just like a random plugin to this. Let's see. I'll add clean sweep, whatever. So I have two plugin banks with plugins here. If I go shift 2, it's going to bypass and activate all the plugins on the inserts A through E. Yes, A through E bank. And then if I do shift 3, it's going to bypass and activate the inserts F through J. So you can be kind of strategic about where you place things. Again, remember the audio goes from the top down, so you want to keep that in mind in terms of how it'll affect the sound. You don't want to sacrifice the sound just for this one feature, but sometimes it might make sense to leave a gap or two before adding your plugin if you might want to really quickly like A/B test what that one plugin is doing compared to everything else, or what that second half of the chain is doing compared to everything else. So again, shift 2 for inserts A through E, shift 3 for inserts F through J. So that's another helpful one. I don't use it as much as the shift A for all of them, but it is there if you want to use it. Now, similarly, if you want to do shift V, that's going to activate and deactivate, or bypass really. It's not activating and deactivating, it's actually bypassing. But it's going to bypass all of the reverb plugins on your track. So you can bypass and activate different categories of plugins on your tracks all at once. So if I had multiple reverbs here, it would be bypassing and activating multiple reverbs at once here. And similarly, if you want to work with dynamic plugins, so it's V for verb, right? For reverbs. For dynamic plugins, it's going to be C. So Shift C. Let me add a dynamic plugin here. That would be smart. I'll just add CLI2A, see how that goes. So if I go Shift C, it will bypass and then unbypass all the dynamic plugins on my track. And that's again because I have this one track highlighted. So the nameplate for this track is highlighted. I don't have my other tracks highlighted. So whichever ones you have highlighted. So Shift C, I think of C for compression, which has to do with dynamics. So Shift C and then Shift V for verbs. So you can kind of test the different categories that you have very easily and very quickly with these plugins. And this can especially be helpful with the dynamic plugins if you want to hear if there's like distortion with them, if you're introducing, some kind of noise, or if it's too much, you can kind of A/B test with and without the dynamic plugins really quickly. So can come in handy. The only other thing that I tend to do with plugins isn't really a shortcut. It's just automation. So if you go to this automation folder, you can choose parameters to automate. So here I'm automating the gain and then the dry wet signal, and you can see that they lit up green because I'm automating them. So in some plugins, it'll put a little rectangle around the parameter, or it'll denote it somehow. But then what you can do is you can automate those plugin parameters just like you would volume automation, for example. So see here I have the dry wet signal and then the output gain, and I've opened them up below my track as a separate automation graph. And so I can adjust those parameters and change them as time goes on. That's all automation is. But let me show you really quick. There is a shortcut for this. So let me just add like the stock. I'll just do the stock Pro Tools EQ. And so if you want to automate a plugin parameter, I always just tend to use the folder thing. It doesn't take a ton of time, but you can do Control Option Command and then click on the parameter, and that'll allow you to enable automation for that parameter. So see how it lit up green? That's how this plugin denotes that it is automatable. And so now I have it as an option here for my automation graphs on this track. So that's another way you can do it, is just Control Option Command and then click on the parameter. But I have noticed that it doesn't work with every plugin. So sometimes that'll work, sometimes it won't. When it doesn't, just remember you have the folder there. So I'm going to do Control Option Command again and click on it to disable automation for that parameter. And then I'm going to get rid of this plugin because I don't want to add that to my mix. But that's about it. Let me know what you think of this video. I hope you liked it. I hope someone out there finds it helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I do have a Patreon, so it's patreon.com/CatoNoise. My patrons get access to additional content. That's mostly been a Discord server that a lot of us are hanging out on lately. It's been a lot of fun. We have a book club on there. We meet in the voice channel. A lot of fun. So if you feel so inclined to check that out, I would really appreciate it. It helps support my channel. Again, that's patreon.com/CatoNoise. And other than that, I come out with new videos every Wednesday. And thanks so much for hanging out. Okay. I feel like I kind of stumbled over my words there, so I hope that was intelligible. It's almost New Year's. It's going to be after New Year's for you, but I'm going to go snowboarding for New Year's, I think. So I'd love to hear what you all did for New Year's, if you had fun. I hope everyone had fun. I hope everyone had a safe holiday, a fun, safe holiday. I'm kind of looking forward to just having a quiet evening post snowboarding. So yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. So I'm just going to say bye. Hope you're doing well.